Hey guys, Icanderous here again doing another toy review, and this time it's for a continuation of the Kong Skull Island Lanard toy line from the upcoming Kong Skull Island film. And this is one of the other creature contact sets. This is actually the last of the initial 3 creature contact sets that have been released. So the ones that came out so far are the Tom Hiddleston one with the Jeep and the Beat Spider. The Tom Hiddleston with the Jeep Spider set, and then there's the nameless kind of soldier guy with a kind of a landing boat or attack boat, and with that one comes with the terror. It's supposed to be like a pterosaur type thing. So this is the third of the sets, and this is the Samuel Jackson figure set. So getting onto the box quickly, you can see the packaging here has Kong down on the right hand corner. You got Battle for Survival Creature Contact. You got up in the corner, if I can just bring it into focus, Lanard LT. So Lanard Toys. It has clip-on wearable camo. It's for ages 3+. Flipping around to the back of the box, you got the creature contact, which is the same write-up as all the other creature contacts. So you have creature alert: join the Monarch expedition to Skull Island and prepare to discover the most deadly creatures on the planet Earth. On Skull Island, danger alerts are in every corner. With your Sky Devil combat gear, you can face the monsters head on and win. Explorer or soldier, you must be prepared to fight if you want to survive. And then it has the Monarch symbol and I think it's supposed to be the Sky Devil symbol. And then you got the same artwork of Kong versus one of the skull. If I get it right, hopefully it's the Skull Crushers or Skull Crunchers. I hope the one that's shown on the picture for the artwork is massive compared to the one that you get in the set. Then you have like the other sets available, including this one, which is kind of has like an outpost and the figures. And then you got the helicopter set or the boat set, which is what was it called again? The Storm Strike sets. So you got either choose a choice between a boat or a helicopter set. I haven't picked up the helicopter yet. Hopefully we'll get that soon. And I haven't got the last figure in this initial wave, which is the giant, I think 18-inch Kong figure. But so far, these are the figures that I've gotten so far. On the side of the packaging, it's pretty plain. You just got imagery, kind of a sunset imagery with kind of huey helicopters flying in the distance. And other than that, it's like a jungle it has very jungle themed. Even on the back of the card, on the inside of the box, you have like the helicopters flying. It's kind of reminiscent of Apocalypse Now when they're flying across the sunset, or I think in Apocalypse Now was at dawn time, but kind of that kind of similar theme. It also kind of is reminiscent of the old Jurassic Park original Kenner 90s toy line, where they have the kind of similar card back where it was kind of went red to yellow to black. So again, there's another similar kind of setup. So onto the set itself. So here is the Sam Jackson figure. Let me just see if I can bring the light over here so you can get a good look. He's actually quite well detailed. Again, he's a reuse of a previous Core Elite figure. The only difference is his head sculpt. They did a great job doing a 3D rendering of Sam Jackson's head and sculpting the face onto the body. Now, just like I mentioned with all the previous figures, you have great paint apps on the front, but the minute you flip it around, you can see all the paint apps disappear. You should have kind of brown and black on the straps and the canteens and pockets on his vest. But that doesn't continue around. The only thing that does continue around paint-wise is this kind of hoodie part for his kind of, it looks like undershirt or his outfit. And then even the pistol has half painted. You got pistol silver on the paint at the front, and then it just goes to green of the plastic that the figure is molded from. So just like the other figures, articulation is very similar. So you got swivel in the shoulder that can go all the way around, it can go out to the side, so you can put arms up that much and down. Got a swivel at the sorry, a swivel at the upper bicep, and a single jointed elbow that can do just about a 90-degree bend. And you got the swivel, it's the same on both sides. He has a ball jointed neck, so you can look down, up, side to side, and around. He has a waist swivel, no ab crunch or anything like that. And then he has this kind of T-crotch style waist. So there's no out to the side, it's just forward and back, so you can go forward that much, back that much. Then you got single bend knee with no further articulation in the ankles. Again, as I've been saying with the other figures, these figures would be great if they had the added advantage of having wrist articulation. It's really the wrist articulation, I think, that kind of kills these figures, even though the hands are fairly big and clunky. If they had the added wrist articulation, it would be kind of nice, so you can actually get two-handed posing out of some of the weapons that you comes with. So, speaking of weapons, again, all the weapons are reuse of the corpse line, or the chorus line. So you have a pistol, kind of looks like a sci-fi-ish style pistol. It doesn't look like any kind of modern pistol that I'm familiar with. Then again, I'm not too familiar with most weapons. He has this kind of sci-fi looking shotgun looking thing, and then he has this kind of it's a baton, but I'd almost call it a shock baton, because it has the kind of, if I can just move my hand out of the way, the shock baton, it looks like it has like a cattle prod thing at the top. So, and let's see if you can hold these weapons. So his trigger finger is molded into his left hand, so he doesn't hold the pistol very well in his left hand. It's very loose. See if he holds it in the right. It's a tight fit, I'd say, but he can hold it. He can hold his pistol in the right hand, but it doesn't look great because he doesn't actually hold it in the trigger finger. He can barely hold it in his left, but it just drops out, and now I dropped it onto the ground and it's probably gone forever. He can hold his shotgun, hopefully. Yeah, he can hold the shotgun a little bit better, and he might actually, just because of the width of the grips on the shotgun, let's see if I can do it. Sorry if I'm doing this off camera, but he can hold his shotgun slightly two-handed. It's a bit of a awkward look to it, but he can do it, and he should, in theory, be able to hold. Yeah, he can hold the baton on up top, or he can hold it. Probably makes sense that he'd have it this way. He can hold it underneath. He can have the butt, or he can have the shock part pointing forward. He probably won't be able to hold it too well on his offhand, on his left hand. No, it doesn't really fit on the left hand that well at all. Just barely like that, and he can hold it like that. So, now the gimmick, as stated on the front of the box, is he comes with these clip-on jungle camouflage stuff. So he has a peg hole on his back, and the idea is you clip this piece onto the peg hole on the back, so it gives him kind of jungle camouflage netting on his back. And then he has two bits that clip onto either hand. Now they are attached in the box on these hands, and they are attached with those kind of twisty tie type things, the kind of elastic ties. So if you didn't want to lose the parts, you could just leave it clipped on. Let's see if we can put this on his head. It's a bit of a tight fit, so you can get him all done up in his jungle camouflagey stuff, which is pretty cool looking. I'm not sure if that's supposed to go forwards. Probably not. You wouldn't be able to see anything, but this does fit on his head. And you could probably do some cool diorama shots with him hiding in the bushes and stuff like that with his gun. even though it would make more sense if you had some sort of sniper rifle as opposed to shotgun. But there you go, he can hold on to that. It's a bit loose, the stuff on his head, and he just wants to fall over. Let's see if I can get him to stand. It's actually, the cloak part actually goes a little bit further down past his feet, so it's a little hard for him to stand, but he can just about do it. So the other thing that comes in this set is the skull. I hope I keep calling it by all different names, but I think it's the Skull Crusher. I think that's their name. So the only thing that's articulated on this thing is its mouth. So if I just get the camera to zoom in on it. So it has a little detail painted inside the mouth. If I can just get my camera to zoom in a touch. So it's quite nice. It's detailed enough. The sculpt is quite nice. It's just a shame it doesn't have any articulation. But I think if it did have articulation, just because of the way the creature is designed, it would be kind of flopping all over the place and you wouldn't be able to stand it up anyway. But as it is, it stands quite nicely without having any articulation apart from that one jaw piece. The paint apps is quite nice. It has a very similar paint apps to the pterosaur type creature. If I just bring the pterosaur one in, you can see they has kind of the same brown plastic used. Very similar brown plastic and kind of similar airbrushing done for the wings, and it has very similar airbrushing going on the body and underneath. It's a very pinkish belly, and it has the big claws on it. As I said, it looks smaller, a good bit smaller than the one that was on the cover of the box. That's versus facing off against Kong. So hopefully they may release a larger one. Lanard might release a larger one to go to battle the Kong figure that they've released, or this could be just basically what we get. Now, the very final piece in this set is this. It is another reuse of the Coors line, and I've seen it a few times. Never really picked it up, kind of passing it. I really like this though. It's like basically like a field shelter kind of. Well, it's not really a field shelter. It's like a outpost. Now the only thing is they did scrimp on a few of the paint apps. Like on the side here, you can see there's all this kind of headset and all these kind of cables, but it's all just molded in the same greyish kind of silver plastic that the galvanized stuff is painted on. Even the headset up the back here is painted. The radio has no paint on it. I mean, for a customizer, it probably would be really good. You can just go in with a paintbrush and paint up all the stuff that should be painted, like these the jerry can and these oil can. They're nicely painted, but they have these dents in them. So like you could put dry brush of silvers in it just to make it look like they're rusted and stuff like that. Flipping around the back, it's very hollow. You can even see that it has a 2004 date stamp on it, which means it's been used quite a lot. It's now what, 2017, so it's been used for the last 13 years. This mold has been in production, so quite a while. Even on this side, there's like these. It looks like towels and rags and stuff. Again, it's all just painted in the silver, or it's not even painted. It's just molded in the same silver color that the base plastic is. But even saying that, it is quite good. I mean, it's cheap for what you get. It's cheap for what you're paying for, so it's quite a nice set. Let's see if we can get one of my G.I. Joe figures in here, just so you can see a scale difference. Bear with me a moment. So, just so you can see for scale, I have one of my basic G.I. Joe figures, and it does work quite well with them. Yeah, if I can just get them to stand up. So that's the Night Force Falcon. Bear with me a moment, I'm just going to move the camera and point it in. So it does look quite nice. This piece up here is just a sticker, so I would be wary of that wearing and falling off at some point in time if you use it quite a bit, but initially it should be okay. Other than that, it's quite a good set. Even the figure that comes with it is decent enough, just so you can see the size difference of the core figures versus G.I. Joe figures. Let's take off his gear because it's a bit easier. So there's a slight, just bring that in, there's a slight difference in height between them, not by much. I think the G.I. Joes are more 4" and the Corpse figures are 3 3/4", so there's a minimal height difference, but it's saying that they are quite nice. Overall, I like this set. I mean, for what you're paying for, I know it's a bit cheaper in the States. This set is about, I think it's like $10 in the set, or $10 in the States, whereas over here it's €17, so it's a bit of a difference. But even saying that, what you get in the set is quite nice. I mean, the creature is pretty good. If you like the design of the creatures in the film, it's pretty accurate to what you see on the trailers so far, anyway. And the figure, as I said, it's a good likeness to Samuel Jackson. So even if you were just buying this for the figure for purposes of making your own custom Samuel Jackson figure, it's quite a good figure to get. And then you have like the other stuff for the diorama pieces. Even the camouflage netting is quite cool. You could probably reuse that if you wanted to customize it and use it with G.I. Joes. You could probably just modify it so it could fit G.I. Joe figures. So all in all, I mean, it is a good set. So I would say if I was to give it a verdict out of 10, I'd give it maybe a 8 out of 10. The only things I would draw points on is the lack of like fully painted figures, like the lack of paint apps. The slight articulation issues that I mentioned is pretty much the only other thing I draw points from. But overall, I think it's a good set. So there you go, guys. Hope you enjoyed my review. I know I probably waffled on a bit there for the end, but I hope you enjoyed the review. And I will get a review of the helicopter set and the Kong himself as soon as I can pick them up. So hope you enjoyed the review, guys.